Hello everybody, I'm Elwirfy and today we're back playing some more of Stories from Soul, the Gun Dog. Very excited to see what's going to happen. If you missed the last episode, go watch it, because it was really funny, and I liked it. Anyway, let's go ahead and go to the crew quarters. Alright. Okay, we can see some different cadets. You step out into an empty corridor, and the door to your quarters gently hisses shut behind you. Its keypad gives a short series of beeps, and you hear the lock engage. Okay. The dull thrum of the ship's systems is barely audible, but otherwise, you are stood in total silence. The air is cooler outside of your quarters, and the corridor has a sterile lack of aroma. This has been the same on every ship you've been stationed on, and at this point, it doesn't surprise you. Okay. Okay, so this is a Swift-class patrol vessel, which means if I leave this quarters block, I'll be on the foreside thoroughfare. Okay. If I go right towards the aft, I'll arrive at the central hub, then I can head to the bridge. Should I look at stuff? Maybe I should look at the people's crew stuff first. Okay, so I'm not recognizing anyone. About this one. Yeah, okay. I'm not reading it because it's just saying nothing, essentially. Alright, move to the thoroughfare, I guess. Whoa, it's really empty here. You leave the crew block behind you and find yourself in a much larger corridor that stretches off to your left with multiple smaller corridors leading from it. Warning, low gravity. Nice. To your right, the corridor leads to a large plaza-like space. A very faint breeze coming from your left ruffles your hair and chills you slightly, and you hear the sounds of human activity. Oh, okay. From the right, you can hear the hum of the ship's engines more clearly now, as well as the occasional low, quiet whirring sound. Looks like I was right. This portion of the thoroughfare will let me access both sets of crew quarters, the mess hall, the hangar, and the central hub. This is the main area. Okay. From there, I can access the rest of the ship's areas. I should hurry to meet the captain before I look around anywhere else. Okay, so I guess we'll go to the central hub. As you enter the central hub, you hear a low, whirring noise, and the engines grow louder. You can see the readouts above the elevators change, letting you know someone is using it to travel to another part of the ship. Okay. Looking around you, you see the entrance to both the fore and aft side thoroughfares, as well as the corridor to the airlocks. Okay, this is a lot to remember. These elevators will take me to the bridge where the captain will be. I shouldn't waste any more time. Okay, let's move to the bridge. Knowing that you need to report to the captain, who at this point of the ship's journey should be stationed on the bridge, you make your way towards the elevators and press the call button. You step back and watch the indicators above each elevator, waiting for one to arrive. Nice. Look, see how it says bridge. As you wait, your mind begins to wander that you're caught unaware as you feel something suddenly jab into your back, and a voice from behind you declares, "Hands in the air, identify yourself." I'm the head of security, damn it. Why are you... Why are you threatening me, whoever this is behind me, when I am the head of security? This is stupid. Your posture stiffens as you snap back to reality, caught completely off guard by the voice behind you. Thoughts race through your mind as you try to figure out what's going on. Could there already be another security detail on board? Wait, they're so incompetent they might have, in the past, had 2 security details? That's insane. Oh my god. These people are kind of incompetent. That shouldn't be possible. As far as you know, you're the only one unless... Oh dear god. I said hands in the air, punk. Man, that sounds like a child. You tentatively raise your hands, palms flat, facing forwards, as whatever has been thrust into the small of your back is removed slowly, and you hear the person from behind you take a step backwards. You exhale as you begin to turn around. Lieutenant Worf, Security Detail, ID SO254 JFSG. I'm on my way to meet the captain to... Okay. Where you'd been expecting a gruff crew member, instead you're met with a bright cherry officer waving a pen around with a large smile on her face. Man, I totally thought that was a gun on my back. I'm just going to be honest. That totally seemed like it'd be worse. You're taken aback for a moment, as this isn't just any officer. This is Cassie. Oh, okay, cool. What are you... Oh, cool. Riley, I've missed you so much. Okay, great. Um, you big doofus, you should have seen your face when you turned around. You were all... okay. I love that face you make when you think you're in trouble. It's like you think playing with the big soldier will get you out of trouble. It's so cute. Are we in a relationship? If not, this is like super unprofessional. I hope that we already are, because that's just so out of the blue otherwise. Lieutenant Commander Cassandra Quinn, you should have known, really. She's always been one for bad jokes and stupid pranks as long as you've known her. At least she's nice, you know? That's good. Her less than professional attitude has a penchant for irresponsibility is the reason why, despite her talents, she's not commanding a ship of her own. So she's like someone who should be in charge, but isn't right now because of likely incompetent higher-up crew members. So I sense a coup coming on. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Cassandra... Oh, I thought we'd call her Cassie. All right, Cassandra, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how good did I get you? You totally thought you were being busted, right? But if you're being honest, her playful nature is what attracted you to her in the first place. You've been dating for nearly 2 years now. Hey, good for us. But a lot of that has been over electronic mail or letters. Your postings have never lined up until now. So this is like some Redditor's fantasy of like someone who they've only talked to online for like a long time, and then they meet up and both of you happen to be of equal attraction levels, and you're like meeting your online girlfriend for the first time. This is, I don't know who designed this game, but that is some real power fantasy stuff right there. That's funny. Cassie, what are you doing here? I thought you were stationed on the Reliant. You never said you were being transferred. What happened? Well, the thing about that is you might say that a disagreement with the head of operations on the Reliant led to a lateral trajectory for my career. Okay, so she already tried to do a coup and failed. That's that's great. I like this game. This is funny. Cassandra, please. Okay. So maybe when it came time to change the ship's cyber security passwords, I couldn't be bothered to spend all day sitting in the computer core waiting for it to generate new codes, so I just changed all the existing passwords by a single digit. I facepalm as a dull groan, like, ugh, comes from the back of your throat. This isn't the first time you've heard a story like this. So she's lazy. Okay, everyone needs flaws, but she's lazy. That's her trait. All right. And maybe it turns out that when they run the cybersecurity drills, they just assume the enemy have your old passwords, so try to brute forcing from those, and maybe that meant the ship was compromised in 0.05 seconds. Oh my god, she's stupid. Oh my god, that's great. But at least they found out I'd done that in a drill and not in real engagement, right? I guess. This is just disappointing. I've basically saved the entire ship in advance. That is a very unique way to look at things from a very specific point of view. I'm surprised you're still even stationed on a ship. How are you not stuck back in records at a Europa colony room right now? That's a good question. Well, I probably shouldn't tell you this, but if I can't trust you, who can I trust? Okay. It turns out that this mission was organized at a really short notice, and the Gundog was the only ship available. Oh, so I'm on the trash ship, and she got thrown here because she's also bad at her job. Am I bad at my job? Now I feel like I might be incompetent. I mean, I didn't even get to fight in the last battle, so clearly something's not going well with whoever's assigning assignments. The problem was that they've been having issues with the crew, so they had to transfer some in short notice. Luckily for me, I'd so recently been made available. Oh, that's funny. Okay. That's weird. I've only been stationed on the Duke, so I shouldn't have been free to be transferred. Did she mess with the assignments just to see me? That is kind of... I don't know how to feel about that. They're both awkwardly staring at each other. Okay, you figured it out. I may have used one of my controls from the academy who works in research to transfer you here. Oh my god. That's awesome. I'm pretty sure you know every regulation you broke by doing that. Oh, what was I supposed to do? Get stationed to some tiny ship heading out in the middle of nowhere with no one I know on the crew? We haven't seen each other in months. Aren't you glad to see me? I guess so. Of course I'm glad to see you. I've missed you too. You know, it's been a long time. Sure, you don't become part of the Reliance Operations Department without some serious talent. I'm not going anywhere. Okay. So, did she give herself like a good job too? Like, how high up is her job, I wonder? Oh God. Oh, you said you were on your way to see the captain, right? Have you had a chance to take a look around the ship yet? No, not yet. I was going to. Great. I'll show you around. I've been here a few days, so I basically know the ship like the back of my hand. Where do you want to go first? I was on my way. Yeah, I was on my way to see the captain. I felt the engine start up, so I knew we were launching soon, and I thought I should probably report as soon as possible. What did she think? We're just gonna take a stroll down. Oh man, I like this game. This is funny. Don't worry about that. I've already logged you on board, so it's just a formality now. Okay. Besides, Captain Bartomuse isn't exactly a stickler for procedures, so we can check out anywhere before we head up there. Well, all right. In that case, great. Oh God. This is gonna be the best tour you've ever been on. By the time it's over, you'll have seen every inch of this ship and met everyone on board. Great. It's been so long since we last saw each other, too. We definitely need to take time to stop by my quarters and get reacquainted. Yeah, you can now access every area of the Gundog. Cool. Select the talk button to view a list of who's available to talk to. If you change your mind, select the talk button again. Okay. You look around the central hub as Cassandra already begins to make her way to your first destination, waving at you to follow. It might be a small ship, you think, but now would be the perfect opportunity to learn its layout and familiarize yourself with where you'll be spending your current duty. Plus, you admit, it wouldn't hurt to meet all the crew. Better to get to know them sooner rather than later. I'm sure I'll be saving their lives, or they'll be saving my life at some point, so I suppose that's fine. I'm adjusting my headset. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and talk. Oh, we can only talk to Cassandra. Alright, we'll just keep talking to her. She's funny anyway. You know, it's kind of funny now that I think about it. What is? This is the area. This area is called the Central Hub, but honestly, the only places you can get to straight from here are the airlock, sickbay, or the bridge. Okay. Well, it's right in the middle of the ship, so it connects everything together via the through thoroughfares, right? Kind of, but if you want to get to engineering to do some mechanical work, you've got a long way to go that way. Okay. Then, if you want to do pretty much anything else, you've got to go to the other way. So, is the ship kind of like a big line? I mean, that's fine if it is. The Foresight Thoroughfare is way more of a hub, since you can get to all sorts of places really quickly, get some snacks from the mess hall, take back to your quarters. Easy. Oh, we don't eat in the mess hall? That's interesting. If you want to have a quick soda whilst you audit in... Is that supposed to say audit? Yeah, that's an A. While you audit in the hangar, you're there and back in no time. They should move the bridge to the front of the ship. I mean, I guess. You can have a bridge in the back of the ship if you want. It sounds to me like you just want a vending machine on the bridge. I didn't catch that. That's funny. Hey, that's not a bad idea. Even she wasn't thinking that. This was a me thing. All right. But still, it's a long way to get to the other end of the ship no matter where you're going from. Okay. How would you solve that problem? Maybe change the shape of the ship so that the center is really the center? I guess. It's space, so you could make it really efficient shape, like a cube or something. That is a fair point. It really doesn't matter what shape a ship is, because the way space works is like the gravity makes it so everything's weightless, so you can kind of do any shape you want. A cube, I guess it could be efficient, but I don't think anyone would take a cube-shaped ship seriously. That's fair. I guess we'll move. Whoa. Should we go to the sick bay? That's the one that's closest to us, right? Let's try out the sick bay. The elevator doors hiss open, and you both step out into a wide, open room. You're immediately struck by the glare of the high-powered lights that are set in the ceiling Just as you regain your vision, the powerful aroma of the clinical disinfectant burns your nostrils. Alright. So it's kind of yucky in here, or too clean. Looking around, you see the standard features of a sickbay, a set of beds that extrude from the wall on one side, and a large gallery window set into the wall on the other, indicating the presence of a surgery wing. So surgery's here, regular sick people here, medical supplies, and check-in desk, I guess. Alright. The walls are lined with cupboards and cabinets containing small medical supplies and various devices set on the countertops. Sure. In the middle of the room, there's a large desk set to face the entrance. On the side closet are 2 chairs and other... Oh, hold on. On the side closest... I'm reading wrong. On the side closest to you are 2 chairs, and on the other sits a figure that you almost mistake for a piece of medical equipment until they look up. Oh, he's got, like, cyborg enhancements. That's cool. Miss Quinn, excellent timing. I've just finished the analysis of your... Hey, Doc, don't worry about that right now. I'm giving a tour to our new security officer. Alright. Very good, Miss Quinn. Hello, Lieutenant Wirfs. I'm the ship's doctor. Oh, God, another hard name. Cypher? I'll just say Cypher, I guess. Cypher Rosarium. I've reviewed your file already, so please feel free to stop by with any complaints. Cool. But since you're here, Miss Quinn, I'd really like to talk about your gastro... Honestly, Doctor, it's fine. We can talk about it. Intestinal. yeah. She's having bowel movements. Doctor, that's great. Distress. Okay. Doctor, a moment, please. That's awesome. Honey, if you could just give me a few minutes with the doctor. Yeah, no problem. Cassandra grabs the doctor by his sleeve and drags him over the surgery wing, yanking him through behind her. Once the door closes, you can't hear them, but you can still see the 2 through the gallery window. Okay. You decide to turn your attention away and examine a nearby poster on space illnesses. Cool. Am I supposed to... Nope. I was just waiting, I guess. Yes, thank you, Doctor. I understand. So that includes any synthetic meats or carbohydrates. All right. Understood. But as I've explained, I've got a full supply of Nutri-Shake powders that would serve as a balanced replacement for meals from the food vendor and would alleviate your... Doctor... Oh, that's great. What a professional doctor this is. I like this doctor. He does not give a damn at all. She's just mad. Yeah, who wouldn't be upset? But to be fair, if you've been dating for 2 years, hearing this kind of stuff shouldn't really be a big deal. It shouldn't be that embarrassing, in my opinion. But maybe I'm biased about the way I view communication. Tummy troubles. Sure. This tour is moving on. All right, great. This is fantastic. All right, let's go to Central Hub. Let's go bottom up. Why not? Four-side thoroughfare. Okay, as you head away from the Central Hub, to the noise from the engine becomes quieter, and the ambient temperature feels noticeably cooler. Okay. The thoroughfare stretches in front of you, with doorways leading to the other areas visible from the distance. And here we are in the 4-5... Why is it spelled like that? Fortified? Is that right? That's an F, yeah? Yeah, that's an F. Fortified thoroughfare. I know, I went to my quarters earlier when I came aboard. Is this a shock? Okay. What did you just say? Four-side thoroughfare. No, I don't think you did. I 100% said four-side fair. Holy shit. This game is amazing, guys. It's literally correcting its own grammatical mistakes and spelling mistakes. No wonder I got confused. That is awesome. Okay. It's a tricky thing to say. You try saying it quickly. Four-side thoroughfare. I'm saying it. Four-side thoroughfare. Four-side thoroughfare. It's like they're trying to make me say it badly. Yourself. We'll call this one a draw, Lieutenant. Sure. Okay. So we just did the Central Hub. We came from there. Should we go to the crew quarters too? And this is the second set of crew quarters where operations staff That's me and Vanessa. The department heads and the captain have their quarters. Okay, makes sense. Of course, it's obvious why you'd come this way soon after finding out I was part of the crew. What do you mean? I'm supposed to be meeting the captain soon. I know, and despite that, you've let your libido guide you to my quarters, you animal. Okay, I didn't know that. Let's maybe save that for later, okay? You tease. Oh, God. Okay. This is... Are we not supposed to actually... We could totally just go to the captain's quarters, right? Okay. The captain's quarters sits at the end of the corridor, differentiated from the other doors in the corridor by a small insignia that sits above the nameplate. Like the others in the corridor, it displays the occupant's name. Why is it all black? In the case of Captain Mary Barthmews, even your role as security officer, there's a few rooms in the ship that you don't have access to. The captain quarters is one of them. There's nothing for you here right now, so you turn back. Okay, that's why it's black, because that's a secret part. We're going to go to that later. Should we go to Cassandra's quarters? I guess. Oh, by the way, if you ever want to access my quarters, the passcode for the lock is 0211. It's pretty much the same passcode I use for everything. Do I need to write that down? You know what? It's recorded in a YouTube video. If I ever forget, I'll come back to this video to remember that. 0211. Got it. Okay. Oh, is that an explosion? Oh, that's right. It's... I hope it's this one. Wait, the dates in this game are 3 digits, but she used a 0. Our anniversary? Anniversary is usually the safe one if you really don't know. I think that's safe. Come on, you didn't think I'd forget it, did you? Hey, good job. Oh, wait. Okay. Before you go in, can you give me a few minutes just to tidy the place up? Okay. I was almost late for my duty shift this morning, so it's kind of a mess. Let me put some stuff away, okay? Yeah, sure. Okay. Keeping herself between you and the entrance to her room, Cassandra opens the door using the control panel to its right. As it opens, she swiftly steps through the door before it's even all the way open, closes it again, swinging the panel on the side of the entrance. The entire time she obstructs your view of the quarters. Thanks. I won't be long, promise. Okay. I like how they make you wait. A few minutes pass, and you continue to stand gingerly outside Cassie's quarters. You hear the occasional footsteps coming from the four-side thoroughfare, but they all move to other parts of the ship. Thankfully, no one stops by to ask you why security is lurking outside one of the operation officer's quarters. Yeah, we're different ranks, so we can't even, like... Okay. Hey, Cassie. You give the door a gentle knock, leaning against the wall, continuing to remain on lookout for anyone who may have some questions about what you're doing out there. Okay. How's it going in there? Oh, yeah, almost done. Just give me a minute to get this sorted out. And the last pause is followed by a loud bang and the small sound of a cascade of various objects on the floor. Okay, maybe a few more minutes. You sigh and step back from the door. If anyone asks you, you can always tell them that you're doing spot checks for contraband or something similar. I guess so. I haven't really met anyone yet. Done. Come in. That's awesome. Holy shit. I love that. She was trying to clean, but it's still an absolute dog shit mess. That's funny as hell. Welcome. Make yourself at... You step through the door frame. The toe of your boot catches on a discarded pair of leggings, which are held at place by your other foot. As you fall over and reach out to catch something, you stop yourself. So I tripped. Unfortunately, the chair you reached out for has a uniform thrown over the back seat, which slips as you grab it, bringing both the chair and your assortment of cosmetics on the seat, clattering down on the floor with you. Oh no, Riley, are you okay? I'm sorry, I thought... Cassie, yes? I thought you said you were tidying this place up. I was. Then why did I just get brained by a falling hairdryer? That's awesome. There was a system. This game's great. You get back to your feet and right at the chair, Cassie quickly grabs the assorted bottles and tubes that fell down with you, placing them randomly back on a nearby surface. There's no system at all. You almost launch into a speech about securely stowing your possessions in case of high-speed maneuvers, but you stop yourself. Doesn't the captain ever carry out spot checks or surprise inspections? No, it's great. From what I've heard, her quarters are in a worse state than mine. That's fantastic. Is that right? Wow, this is like really is the most bottom of the barrel kind of ship we could have got put on. That's fantastic. Is there anything to do? Do we look at pictures, I guess? Are those printed photographs? Aren't those cool? They're from our first flight date at Europa Amusement Park. That's cool. I took my PixCam straight to a specialist printer's the next day and got copies made, even wrote the date on the back so I'd never forget our anniversary. Great. Fun. I never knew you were that sentimental. I was hoping to flip it over. That's why I clicked it right away. I knew I was onto a good thing when you held back my hair so I could barf mid-roller coaster ride. See, guys, that's how you do it. You gotta make sure that when your girl's gonna puke, that she doesn't puke all over herself. That's a good sign. You don't meet many people that considerate when you're dating within the forces, let me tell you. Okay. Yeah, now that I think about it, that wasn't the most romantic date I'd ever been on. Sure. You still called me back for a second date, though. Okay. I guess I must have been pretty desperate. Why would I say that? What is wrong with my character? This is really just disappointing. Don't say shit like that. Hey. Joking. I was going to say, I don't know what the tone is because it's all text. So, like, you could have said it jokingly, but I thought he was serious for a moment. Oh, well. I guess it worked out. What else should we look at? Is there nothing? Oh, we're still selecting the look. Cassie's bed. It currently appears to be acting as a makeshift wardrobe. Fantastic. Does she move all these clothes before she goes to sleep, or do they act like an extra sheet? How does she even have that much clothing on board anyway? The front panel of the storage unit looks like it's barely managing to stay shut. Could that be what that bang was earlier? Maybe. Okay, what else is there to click on? Anything else to click on? Her computer. Like everything else in this room, the terminal appears to be in use as extra storage, even the chair stuff. Okay. Since Cassie's in operations, you'd think she'd make more use out of her terminal than anyone else on board, but I can't see how she uses it like this. Should we just talk? I guess we'll just talk. Okay. So, how are you finding the gun talk so far during the tour? The ship's pretty much the same as every other one I've ever been stationed on. The tour's first class, though. Okay. Maybe if working in naval operations doesn't work out, you could start your own business as a tour guide back on Europa Colony. She's like, you think so? And he's like, definitely. You seem like you have all the insider knowledge already, and you've only been stationed here a few days. Imagine all the insider knowledge you could share about Europa Colony. Sure. Yeah, you're right. And over here we have the statue of the workers who built the colony. If you sneak around the back, you can get inside the plinth and hide from colony security if they catch you and your friends hanging out in the park after it's shut. That is not good tour advice. That is bad. Then again, fair. You don't think that's the kind of thing people would want to know? Maybe a bit more about the workers first. Anyway, let's see, what do they say? How have you been finding the gun dog so far? How do you feel about being transferred from the Reliant? What do you want to do when you get some shore leave? That's more casual. Let's just keep it cash. So now that we're on the same ship and have our shore leave lined up, do you have anywhere you'd want to go? Anything you'd want to do? I hadn't thought about it. I guess this means that we'll be able to go on a lot more dates now. Great. Oh, I know. Did you hear about that new colony they've added to the Europa cluster? It's got an ultra-efficient water handling plant, and the planners have included a water park. We should go as soon as it opens. That sounds fun. A water park? What's that? I know what a water park is. Yeah. I've never heard of a water park, though. They're one of the coolest new features on the new colonies they're building. They're like lots of swimming pools with slides and rivers and sports. And sorts. Okay. All the e-magazines are saying that they're going to be the coolest things to do on the colonies once they're open. Nice. Pools and slides into pools. But, like, really exciting. Okay. I guess when we're next docked, I'll see if I can book us some seats. Awesome. Okay, great. Yeah, you know what? We're coming up to the end of the episode here, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed so far. This game's been fantastic to read through. I love it. So thank you all for watching. As always, I'm Elwirfy. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will definitely see you guys next time.